Welcome to Brainfeed Ed Talks. Today we have with us a prolific school leader, Commander V.K. Banga, Principal of the Man School and the former Chairman of Indian Public Schools Conference, IPSC. He has also been awarded as the Brainfeed Edu Leader of the Year from Brainfeed for his exemplary education service. Welcome, sir, and thank you for taking out your time for this interview.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. First of all, I'd like to convey thanks once again to the Brainfeed for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this virtual classes, what is going on vis-a-vis what we had the experience earlier 6 months back. Now, here I will say there's a lot of difference between the actual classroom and now on a virtual. They are totally different things. Total different things in the sense whether it was a new for the teachers, for the students, for the parents, and as well as for the majority of the schools, I'll say so. Because this online experience has been there with us earlier when we are doing a small conferences or any such things, video conferences, we were used to it. So as a leader or as a teacher, it may not be that much difficult. But at the same time, when it comes to students, teachers, it becomes really a new exercise. Particularly starting from the students. They were not very much used. In the classrooms, yes. When we are doing the online teaching in the classroom, yes. But sitting at home, environment is different. That is what has made the difference. Because at residence, when you are there, lot of disturbance is bound to be there because everybody is not having a separate place to sit and do it. It's a very, very important aspect. Same way, when the teacher is in the class, teachers can see the things, students eye to eye, whereas it is not possible at home. You cannot see all the things. So these are the things, the difference was there. Apart from the infrastructure available either at the schools or available at residence. So schools, those who are good schools, they are having, like our school, I am very proud to say that our entire campus was on Wi-Fi, so we did not face any such problem. But when coming to the other schools, those who are not having this facility might have faced this particular problem.
So, as you shared about this, I would also like to ask then that in the 6 months, while you have transformed from a normal school day to a virtual school, what were the challenges that you might have faced, like when you are purely transforming into a digital way, so that learning in lockdown is continuing?
As I mentioned just now, that the major challenge which everybody has faced, whether teacher, student, or the schools, was the infrastructure, that availability of the network. Particularly when talking to the parents again, when they are sitting at a remote places, they have oftenly they were reporting, sir, we are not in a position because our network is not available. And the same times, if in a particular house there are 2 children or 3 children are there, then they may not be having that many gadgets available with them because one child is in a class 6th, another was in 10th, or likewise. So many gadgets have to be made available and a separate places to the student to sit in the room and then work practically. I am talking to you on a ground level working. Whereas in the school or in the teacher in a classroom, when they are doing it one way. They have got the good facility available either at home or at school. But what about the children? Secondly, the support from the parents. It was very good in our case. I must appreciate our parents too. But when I talking to some of the schools, I came to know 2 aspects. That is, children have to be compelled to go and take the classes in time. When they are relaxing mood, they have to be taught about this. Yes, please sit properly, don't converse among each other. So there are some technical problems which were there, which were faced by the teachers in majority of the schools when I am talking to the others as well. But I'm very proud to say about my school as far as concerned. Teachers were very kind to guide the students in the beginning itself, how to dress up, how to sit, and how to ensure that don't talk to each other. And I'm thankful to my teachers and the parents and to the students, mainly those who have understood this part and did not give any chance.
That is so amazing, sir, that this transformation is so smooth in your school. So, I would also like to ask you, according to you, what are the teaching methods that have been proved as very beneficial or one of the best ones during online learning?
Now, when the teaching methods are concerned, of course, on online, we have guided our teachers, and since it was available with us, that is various videos which were available with us already. We are using it, like for example, from the Extra Marks, from the Genius Corner, or from some other agencies. We have our uh, things available with us, videos which we were sharing it. Not only that, I am also very happy to share with you all the contents which we are using in the class as such were made available to the teachers who have fruitfully utilized it with the students. Since the session has begun from 1st of April, so from 3rd of April, the normal classes have started online. And we have shared very nicely all these things with the students. Now, as far as some problems are initially we faced for the maths and the science, where the equations have to be solved, we have tried to use the Zoom as well as the Microsoft Teams, so both the things, where the whiteboards are available. So normal teaching was given through that also, but at the same time, teachers have prepared so many PPTs. They have taken so much amount of interest and the time where they have written the things in advance so that when they are teaching, they concentrate only on teaching. And they were whatever was prepared was shared to the students after the lecture, so that whatever has been taught in the class, they know it in writing as well. So that is how we have gone ahead and did our best, and we have got very good responses from the parents. Yes, sir, we are very happy with your online classes, and teachers and the students have taken interest and they are waiting for the next day. This was the word used by, I'll say, many parents. They are waiting for the next day class.
That is wonderful to hear. So, are you also sir, able to manage the teacher training sessions in this online learning or through any online platform, like virtually? And if you can elaborate on this, what kind of teacher training sessions are being done, or how many times are those are being conducted?
Here we told naturally it was a new thing, so that's what I said. We started from third. On first, second, and a day or 2 days prior to that, when we came to know this online classes have to be conducted, we have started training our teachers that time only. We started with the Zoom, and on Zoom we have conducted this teachers training when they are at home, and it was governed by our HODs over here in the school as such. I am very thankful to our HOD. Of course, her name is Ms. Nidhi Diwan, and she conducted and controlled this entire thing. And then we also liaised with the you can say Microsoft Team people as well as from the Zoom. We got the training session done from them also for our teachers after the classes. So we have already conducted 2 sessions each, either with the Zoom or with the Microsoft Team. And one session we also had with the Google Meet. Now on this session, we found very fruitfully, Zoom was working very nicely. And then we have got divided the few things into the Microsoft Teams, and few classes we have taken onto the Zoom. They were very fruitful because the different facilities are available in both, and hence we have utilized wherever the best is. Training of the teachers, as you asked again, I'll repeat, it was done, and that is what has given us the better results.
Okay, okay, sir. So that's so great that even the Microsoft and Google tech giants like them are helping education to unfloor in this online learning platform. So, sir, when we talk about this online learning, when teachers have to take many training sessions and have to also take care of online learning in a new way. So, do you think that there is any issue of teacher burnout. Have you sensed that during this lockdown? And if yes, then can you also suggest what steps can school leaders overall take to release some pressure that teachers might be facing right now?
I want to share one part. The CBSE also has started recently the online training of the teachers. And I am very happy to share with you once again that I have nominated I say more than 25 teachers, those who are undergoing this particular training with the CBSE now. So that training session is also on. Now, I would like to answer the next part of the question, which please repeat this question again. Sorry.
Yes, sir. 1 minute. So the question is, do you sense the issue of teacher burnout during this lockdown learning session when they have to manage a new kind of learning method to have virtual classrooms and also take care of training sessions? So do you sense any kind of teacher burnout? And if there is some teacher burnout, can you also suggest the school leaders on measures?
Going out.
Teacher burnout, like teachers are stressed out due to so much work or so much pressure or any stress. And if there is that kind of situation, if you can sense that, any suggestions for the school leaders, what kind of measures they can take to release the pressure for teachers?
Now here I would like to say in two different ways to you. First is when they are teaching over here in the school, generally 6 or 7 periods in a day, they have to teach. Now when they are going at online classes, of course the number of periods we have to cut down because of time should be available with the student also, and the gadgets and everything has to be spared accordingly. So the weekly basis load for the teacher has come down. Yes, I agree. From per subject, if I say 6 periods were there, now they have come down to 4 or maybe 3 in some cases. But at the same time, the workload for the teacher has become doubled. Though the number of periods in a week might have gone down, but the workload, I am repeating, has doubled. The reason is you have to prepare honestly on a lesson plan, how to project the things, you have to mentally do it, and physically how it will be shown to the students. That part has taken more time after the classes. So naturally, earlier when the teacher was working, they were working in the school hours. Now when they are sitting at home, they are working even beyond school hours. While at home, because they have to be very sure when they are teaching to the students, they have to doubly sure this part. Students utilize this fruitful time of 40 minutes and ensure that they note down the things, they give the assignments, they do it, and when it comes back, it is rechecked. And as early as possible, it has to be given a proper feedback to the students and the parents as well. Now, this thing has increased. I'll say they are definitely taxed more. There is no doubt about it. And I appreciate once again my teachers, those who are dedicatedly working. And that is the reason which as parents have given us a very good feedback on that.
So I would also like to ask that there is still no clarity as to when the schools will be started. The pandemic situation in India is still not suppressing, and while we cannot predict the future scenario, one question still remains is what a school should take as in the measures to ensure safety of each child and staff. For example, the major thing is how will you as a school leader would win the trust of parents for sending the kids back to schools whenever the situation improves. So, would you like to suggest any safety measures that the school will be taking?
Yes, certainly, madam. We have started already thinking on those lines. And as it is coming in the news and other places, we are not yet aware of when the school will open. But definitely, we pray to the Almighty that as early as possible, school should start. And as the school starts, what steps we have to take, I'll just briefly tell you. Though we are still on a planning mode, there can be some better improvements, better things will prevail in a time to come. As the time gives us further chances, we will definitely like to improve. But what we are doing presently is we might be dividing into the two different sessions. And I being a very good, having sufficient infrastructure available with us, we can divide the one class into two further sections. Earlier, if there are, for example, there are 30, 35 students in a class, so we can make 15 or 17 students sit in a class by giving one desk to each student. That much facility is available in my school. So, but the problem will be coming, we have to reschedule the timetable for the teachers, because the same teacher has to teach in the separate section 2 times. So this we might have to reduce the number of periods of our each particular class and then go ahead. This is a one, social distancing has to be maintained. Now, not only that, when the students are entering the school, how the sanitization will take place, how they will be marched, all assemblies, how the procedure will be there for the assembly, how to ensure that any activity which is taking place, for example, we conduct debates or any such activity, how they will be rescheduled, how this examination will take place. All these things are being planned now only with us. Whenever it opens, we assure you we will be ready with it.
Apart from these measures, the another thing is curriculum. So when we are changing to a new phase of world right now, where the education needs to be evolved at a larger scale in a very limited time, what kind of curriculum reformation is also required in the post-pandemic situation when the schools will resume?
Very rightly, madam, very right question. Because here the call has to be taken by the government, particularly I'll say the CBSE or the NCRT, because the entire syllabus, if I give it to the teachers, they will be under more pressure and in more hurry to complete. So our humble submission will always be that this curriculum need to be reduced. Now, whether it is to be reduced to three-fourths or maybe 60%, something of that nature, which I am sure CBSE or NCRT will issue the guidelines shortly, and but it need to be reduced, keeping in mind that there is not much compromise done as far as the learning of the student is concerned. For example, certain chapters, I'll not say they were not required, they all chapters which are there in the syllabus were required, but still certain chapters are there where it can be reduced. So those chapters, if they are reduced, the entire syllabus can come down to 60% or maybe two-thirds, something of that nature. It has to be worked out so that students do learn and undergo a proper examinations, whether online or off the line. That we decide as the schools reopen. And but reduction in the syllabus has to take place. There is no doubt about it.
Thank you, sir. So, apart from this, do you have any other message that you would like to share with the school leaders, parents, teachers, or students?
Yes, madam. I will request all the school leaders, though they are everyone, those who are the school leaders, they are planning in their own method, because each school has got a different way of working. But the broadly, if you ask about it, each one has to plan now. Whether whenever they open, how they will make the students sit, how they will plan their examination, how they are going to interact and motivate the teachers, encourage the teachers. Now, apart from that, the main as a school leaders, they have to think it in a different manner, where more than the school leaders, I will request the parents, though they are also very hardly pressed. But the major issue for running any institution requires the finances. And when it comes to the finances, the cooperation from the parents need to be there. Only then a good institution can run. And now here they have to pay the fee and everything in timely, so that the good teachers can be retained in the classes and they continue in the classes to take the classes, because they are also human being, no doubt in that, and they are working much more than the previous time. So how these good faculty will be retained will be a great challenge for any school leader. And this can only happen, of course, I'll not say the finances not required, finances are required. And as far as the motivation is concerned, yes, teachers are motivated, but as I said, they are a human being, they also need everything. So this can only be supported by the fees. So whatever exams are there, they have to plan it accordingly so that neither the teachers are taxed nor anybody else is taxed, and infrastructure is maintained accordingly. Rather, infrastructure has to be maintained in a much more better manner vis-a-vis what we are having when the normal school is running. Online classes will definitely going to cost us more as compared to, this will be an additional expenditure which each school has to plan and think of it. Not only that, the various teaching methods, various teaching aids, whether they are videos or in any other form, has to be developed in a better manner. That is what planning has to be done by the any teacher or a leader too.
Thank you so much, sir. So, first of all, from the entire team of Brainfeed, I would like to thank you for sharing your esteemed views and making this interview so successful. I'm sure this interview will be extremely beneficial for all our viewers and readers, be it the school leaders or parents or our students. So,
Thank you very much, madam, giving me this opportunity again. And I'm sure the work Brainfield is carrying out. And by sharing the views of the different principles with the other things, some or the other thing will be gained from each other. I'll be really grateful in case you share the views of the other principals and heads of faculties with us also, so that we also learn from them and it will help each other in all aspects. I wish you all the best to all for this particular theme which you have taken. And once again, thanks to one and all of the Brainfield team. Thank you, ma'am.
thank you so much, sir.